to have some warmer temperatures. So, um, that being said, just wanted to jump on here tonight and have a little quick conversation about just the general temperature of politics, or general temperature um, of of where we all are, in out here in the public, where everyone stands. And I got to be honest, it kind of seems like things are starting to kind of level out. Doesn't seem like, right now things were as chaotic or hectic as they were around election season, which is to be expected. But at the same time, I just want to talk a little bit about, you know the Democrats and the Republicans. You have this one side which seems like just uses common sense, party of common sense, with the Republicans, and then on the Democrat side of things, I mean, I'm sorry, but all I see is hatred and anger. That's all I see. It's from day one with Donald Trump. It's like no one wanted to give him a chance. Right from the get go, before he ever did anything, before any policy he made, before any statement he made, up at any podium, everyone was already against the guy. And I don't know. I mean, call me crazy, but I think this country needed a change. I think it was definitely time for a change, and if you ask me, there's nothing that represents a bigger change than someone like Donald Trump coming into the White House. Uh, at the beginning, I didn't even know where I stood. To be honest, I was never a big Apprentice fan or a big fan of Trump myself. He was nobody I really had in my mind one way or the other. But when he ran for presidency, I think what clicked for me was seeing how angry and just vile these people that were against Trump on the left side, on the Democrat side of things. It just to see to see the level at which they were willing to take things, and just the anger they showed. It told me that there was something bigger going on here than just the threat of someone they don't like becoming president. And I think right now, I think we're starting to see a lot of what they were worried about, because you see, Trump was considered an outsider. They didn't want an outsider coming into the White House. No, no, didn't matter what that outsider's philosophy was. It didn't matter how he comments he may or may not have made that were inappropriate. Didn't have anything to do with a bogus collusion with Russia. No, it simply had to do with the fact that he wasn't in on the gig. You see, the Democrats, and to be honest with you, I think certain Republican parties throughout time that have woven themselves in amongst the Democratic Party, they may call themselves Republicans, but in the end, they're just leaning just as much to the left as the Democrats do. Mitch McConnell, hello. John Kerry, hello. But yeah, anyway, um, I think what it really had to do with is someone coming in that wasn't part of the corrupt scheme that they were running the government as. They were using our government as nothing but a funnel for their slush funds. That's all it was. They were setting the government up with fake NGOs, which, fake lobbyist companies, and then they'd have donors, fake donors, put all this money into that account, and it into that program, and then the program would just give kickbacks back to the Democrats, or to any of the politicians that were in on this. It's how they've all gotten themselves rich, and between schemes like that, and between the scheming that goes on amongst senators and Congress with trading on the stock market and in Wall Street, that needs to stop. I don't even know how that's legal. They get insider tips before anybody else. Not only that, but they get to set policies. So they know before anybody else how certain companies are going to be affected, and they're able to back these companies or to withdraw their backing from these companies and able to make money off of it. It's just the whole damn thing is a crooked shit show. It really is. Uh, and like I said, there's definitely Republicans that are just as guilty as Democrats when it comes to this. But I think what we're finding is that it was a Democratic run operation. It's, the USAID, the Department of Education, all these companies were run and set up by the Democrats. And you look and it isn't the Republicans that were getting rich off it. It was the Democrats. It was Obama who set this up. It was Joe Biden who came in and basically had his strings pulled by Obama and set things into place. But they've been running this enterprise for a long, long time now. Back to the Clintons, it just this has been going on for a very long time. And the worst part about it isn't just sitting back watching these corrupt fools come into the White House and become millionaires, billionaires. The worst part is that while they're doing this, America is continually crumbling. I mean, our infrastructures, our programs, our funding for schooling and for our children, and it's just everything seems like America has taken a back seat, and it goes right back to Trump and about change. How can it be a bad thing for the direction this country has been going? You look back on it, and for 16 out of the last 20 years, this country has been run by Democrats. 16 of the last 20 years, this country has been run by Democrats. And as I say that, I better do some fact checking myself before people jump down my throat, because I think I may have got that wrong. You had, what was it, 8 years of Clinton, followed up by, was it 8 years of Bush, who's a Republican? So, oh boy, yeah, I think I messed it up. So it'd be 8 years and then four for Trump, 12. So I don't know. You know what? I'm having a brain cramp here. I should have thought that out a little bit more before I said it. It's something like 12 out of the last 20 years Democrats have been in control. All right, so um, 12 out of the last 20 years Democrats been in control, and look at where the country went and what direction the country went in. We were falling apart, absolutely falling apart. Now you look at Trump since he's come into the White House. This is what they were worried about. This is what their number one threat to them was from Trump. He's cutting all those programs. All these programs that we were just funneling money. I mean, one of the one of the programs I saw that this money that the USAID had funneled to it was for an experiment on transgender uh, flavored tobacco on transgender people, or something about experiments with transgender or gay frogs and these experiments. I mean, come on. I mean, nothing about transgender or anything like that, but these experiments are just they're nonsense. They're nonsense. They just it's just a waste of money. And come to find out that there's a reason these programs exist, because that's again where all their money was being funneled through. So, and it's easy to see the ones that were cheating the most, the ones who are making out the most off of this, because they're the loudest. They're the ones out there right now bitching the loudest about this, and it's very obvious they do not want their uh, breadbasket messed with. They just want that money to keep on flowing, keep on coming. But got news for you, Daddy's home, and Mr. Trump and Elon Musk with Doge uh, putting an end to this shit, and it's about time. So you know You can sit and whine and cry all you want. The other thing is I hear people complaining about the Department of Education being shut down. Well, I'm sorry, but again, it wasn't working. I mean, our kids are so far off where they should be with their schooling. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely fucking ridiculous. I I could see when I was coming through school that, you know, a certain level probably wasn't being reached and maintained that was capable students were capable of. They just weren't being made and being held to those standards. And when I was in school, that was taken. And nowadays, it's just gotten worse. It's crazy. I saw an interview they did on TV, and it was with like 20-year-olds or 22-year-olds, 23-year-olds, and they were asking them questions like, "Which side of the United States is the Atlantic Ocean found on?" And they couldn't fucking tell you. They couldn't answer it. Are you absolutely shitting me? I mean, come on. It's just ridiculous. So you same people, that complain or that should have eyes and can see this, you're going to complain that Trump's shutting down the Department of Education? You're going to complain that he's putting it back into the state's hands? Well, I tell you what, maybe by doing this, it narrows things down a little bit. You don't need the government being in control of education. Look at what it's gotten us. Look at what it's led to. We need better out of our kids. We need better for our country's sake. They are someday going to be the leaders of this world. We need to properly set them up to go out into this world to be effective. And we just haven't been doing it. So narrowing it down to the states, I don't see any problem with that. I really don't. I think it can alleviate a lot of the things that get, overlooked because it's such a um, broad range that you're asking to overtake an operation to overtake with the government being involved. It doesn't need to be. The government does not need to be involved. It's just another way to pump their money through, and it needs to stop. Um, so I don't know. Congratulations, Elon Musk. Thank you, Elon Musk. Thank you, Doge. Thank you, President Trump. Just like Trump doesn't have to be doing this to be president right now and deal with all the bullshit he's dealing with, Elon Musk doesn't either. Elon Musk is a successful businessman, a very successful businessman. I mean, for Christ's sakes, the guy is leaps and bounds ahead of NASA. So, I mean, the guy deserves the credit. He obviously knows what he's doing. And coming in and doing what he's doing now, all he's doing is taking the same backlash that Trump has, and he's taking the same thing onto him, and he just doesn't need it. So the fact that he's doing it, I think, really all that needs to be said is thank you. Because the only thing he's doing is saving America money. And the only thing he's doing is possibly saving the American dollar. Because I'll tell you, you people don't understand how close we were to the American dollar crumbling, how close we still are, and that's actually part of the plan. So I mean, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but the dollar is going to fall, and when it does, don't be shocked. It's always darkness before dawn. So things are going to get potentially worse before they get better. But there's a plan, and this plan has been set in motion for a long time. Anybody who knows anything about Nasera knows that we just can't keep going with the American dollar. We just can't, and things need to change. Gold. We're about to find out that the gold in Fort Knox is missing. That the gold's not there. Well, that's what backs the dollar. So if that gold's not there, the dollar's going to fall. The dollar's going to crumble, and everyone's going to panic. But don't panic and don't worry because this has been planned out, like I said, for a long time now. And yeah, things may get rocky and may seem, rocky at first, but just keep in mind that things will get better. Things always get better. So yeah, I just wanted to get on a little bit tonight and talk a little bit, I guess, about the divisiveness in politics and about um, the fact that nothing seems to get accomplished because all you have is one side versus another side butting heads, and that's why America's where we're at now. That's why we're struggling with the struggles that we have now. And not to take one side or the other. I mean, it's very obvious. I'm I'm a Republican. Actually, I shouldn't say that. I'm probably closer to an independent, and I've just been pushed to the Republican side just by these just idiotic, lame excuses for a Democratic Party. It's just, I mean, come on. You couldn't come up with a better candidate than Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. I almost think they wanted Republicans to win. It was just all a big show and fooled you. They make it seem like they wanted to be in presidency or something, and they just wanted to give it to us. I don't know, but yeah, I mean, you could have come up with better candidates than that. That was just ridiculous. But um, I just being honest though, and you look at it, everyone, me included, thinks this, the button heads needs to stop. But when you stop and look at it, it's not the Republican side that's taking a stand and making a stink. It's been the Republicans, and it's been the Democrats. Excuse me. It's always been the Democrats. If you watch Trump's address to Congress the other night, what I thought I was watching a Saturday Night Live episode. I honestly thought I was watching a skit. Are you absolutely friggin' kidding me? Sitting in the seats with friggin' ping pong paddles and with writing on it and not even being able to stand for an 11-year-old child, however old he was, 13-year-old child with brain cancer? Get the fuck out of here. The fuck's the matter with you? Seriously, you gotta be ashamed of yourselves. Can't even stand up for fucking kid getting over brain cancer. I'm sorry, but things like that, it's just you just show over and over again how big of fools you are. That's all you're doing. And more and more people are waking up. They are seeing that how evil and corrupt and just full of hate the Democratic Party is. You know, I'll say it over and over and over again. Trump doesn't need to be doing what he's doing. He's doing this to help America and help save America. And just like when he took office the first time, the economy was booming before they unleashed the COVID virus. And that was definitely intentionally. That it came from a biolab. They tried to say in China. No, 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 no. Check out where most of the biolabs were located for the U.S. Right in fucking Ukraine. Right in Ukraine. Imagine that. That's right where that damn virus came from and how it originated. And it was done intentionally to try to stop the economy from booming like it was with Trump in office. It was all intentional. They killed people. They sent a virus out that killed people. They shot people up with a vaccine that's killing people. It's just all a joke. It's not a joke. It's very, very serious, and people need to wake up. They're a joke. The Democratic Party is a joke, and they've been a joke. And I'm telling you, they need to get their act together, or they don't even need to be involved in another election. This country is waking up, and maybe slow, but they're waking up. And their old tactics and the way of doing things, it isn't going to work. It's not going to work. We've caught on to it. Information nowadays, having the internet available, the way information flows, it's not going to work anymore. So, as you're waking up, people, just keep in mind and keep one thing in mind over everything else. We are way more the same than we are different, okay? We need to put our differences aside. We are all human beings. All of us. Doesn't matter what color skin you are, doesn't matter who you believe in for your God. We are all humans. As long as we remember that, and as long as we watch out for one another, as long as we let love overpower the hate, we're gonna be all right. So thanks, guys. Appreciate you taking some time checking in with Night Chats. We'll talk to you guys soon.